and get us going on Facebook. All right, welcome everyone to Tour Tuesday. Today we're sitting down with Marissa and Ann from Prairie State Legal Services. So after our introduction video, we'll go ahead and get into our conversation for today. So welcome, Marissa. Welcome, Ann. If we want to just go ahead and get started with introductions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sheridan. We're thrilled to be here and to have a chance to talk about our partnership with United Way and to talk about our services. My name is Marissa Wiesman, and I am the managing attorney of Prairie State Legal Services West Suburban Office, which serves DeKalb County. We also serve DuPage, Kane, and Kendall counties out of this office.
Awesome.
And I'm Ann Perrone. I'm one of the staff attorneys at the West Suburban Office, and I work a lot in DeKalb County, specifically with DeKalb County seniors.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to be sitting down with both of you as well. So today is Giving Tuesday. Happy Giving Tuesday. We know that's a pretty big day for nonprofits everywhere across the globe. And it's a huge day of giving and generosity. I was on your Facebook page this morning and I see there are several people raising funds for your organization. So that's always great. So can you tell us more about the services that you offer at Prairie State Legal Services and how those services can be accessed?
So Prairie State, we're a legal aid organization. We provide legal services on civil matters to low income and moderately low income persons, along with certain other vulnerable groups like seniors and victims of abuse. Our services, we range a pretty full range from just legal advice to full representation on court or administrative proceedings, depending on the circumstances and the needs in each individual case. So we're a pretty large program. We have 11 offices throughout kind of the northern half of Illinois outside of Cook County. But we serve DeKalb County out of our West Suburban office, which is located physically in West Chicago in DuPage County. And our attorneys will travel out to DeKalb for court or any other needs that our DeKalb clients have. To access our services, probably the easiest way is to go to our website, www.pslegal.org. So PS like Prairie State, legal.org. And then on the website, there's a little tab on the top that says Get Help. If you click on the Get Help tab, that will show you a link where you can do an online application or a list of our online phone numbers or our application phone numbers. We have a few of them that are intended to kind of direct services to more specific areas, like legal help for homeowners, fair housing, legal help for older adults. But we also have a general kind of catch-all phone number that's on there too. Awesome. As of this past year, another way to reach us is through Eviction Help Illinois. So evictionhelpillinois.org is a website that if people are facing evictions during this, what you might have heard be called the eviction surge or the eviction avalanche, following the COVID-19, the end of the moratoriums on evictions, you can seek eviction help through that website. And that should lead you to us if you are located in our service area.
Awesome. Awesome. I didn't realize at first how large of an organization that you all have. I know I feel like every day I'm saying like, oh, meet this attorney and meet that attorney. So I think that's nice that you guys put that out there. So after someone's inquires for help and they're eligible, because I'm assuming you have to be eligible for services. How long does it take to kind of get set up with someone to kind of get your situation moving?
So it depends. If a person applies for our help by phone or starts an application online and then calls in to finish it up, they will usually talk to an attorney that same day. Sometimes the person who actually answers the phone to get the information is an attorney.
Right.
Sometimes it's a non-attorney who, you know, kind of gets some of the basic information and then passes the case along to an attorney. So we do get people in, you know, pretty quickly when they, you know, initially contact us and get through. But that may or may not be the end of our services. So that depends on the case. So it may be in a particular case that all we're able to do is give phone advice. It may be that after somebody talks to one of our intake attorneys, that their case then gets transferred to our office or, you know, whichever office covers the area that they're in to meet with one of the attorneys in our local office. And that can happen really quickly, or it can take a little bit longer, just kind of depending upon what kind of legal problem the person has.
Awesome. That makes sense. So Kishwaukee United Way has 3 impact areas, and those are health, education, and financial stability or meeting basic needs. Which impact area would you say that Prairie State kind of aligns with the most?
So I think that all of these impact areas that you just mentioned align very closely with the areas that we target with our services. Prairie State's mission is to ensure equal access to justice, specifically to serve and protect basic needs and enforce or uphold rights. So the basic human needs that most commonly involve legal issues include housing and shelter, access and preservation of health care, the preservation of income and financial stability, as well as issues involving discrimination or safety. So those are our target areas as well, and the types of issues that we try to advise and represent clients on. But you know, I like to note, like Marissa said in the last answer, that I always like to note that if there's an illegal issue affecting somebody's ability to meet your basic needs, to call us, because if their issue for some reason is not something that falls under our usual umbrella, that we would fully represent somebody and go to court and do all the things, they can still likely get advice from our phone counselors and at least some guidance on what to do next and where to go next. And so we're a good place to answer those questions, you know, even if it doesn't seem like something that we've been seen to do before. So,
and just to expand on those basic human needs a little bit. So, you know, we're representing lots of tenants who are facing eviction or, you know, otherwise having issues with their rental housing, because that housing is obviously a basic human need. We represent lots of survivors of domestic violence in orders of protection cases or family law cases, because safety from violence is a basic human need. And we handle lots of public benefits cases. So, you know, helping make sure that people are continuing to get food stamps, Medicaid, Social Security, and other, you know, of those basic benefits just to be able to meet the day-to-day need. And as Anne points out, we also handle, you know, a whole bunch of other things that might be a little less obvious that affect basic human needs. And one of the things I want to point out about all of these kinds of cases that I just mentioned are that they're really different from criminal cases. So in a criminal case, if you were charged with a crime and you could go to jail if you're found guilty, you're entitled to a lawyer. If you can't afford one, the court's going to appoint one for you.
Mhm.
And that's not true in civil cases. So those cases that I just mentioned, you're in an abusive relationship and need to get divorced. You are, a single mom with 3 kids who's being evicted and you don't know where to go. You are not entitled to an attorney in those cases. The court isn't going to appoint an attorney for you just because you can't afford one. So that's where Prairie State comes in, is to, be able to help people in those situations and provide that legal help.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think that that's kind of a point that, people might not always make that connection. So I'm glad that you brought that up and elaborated on that a bit, for sure. I know you mentioned the Facebook Lives and everything that your organization was doing with the evictions and things like that. I was really impressed by all of the outreach that you were doing, just to make sure that people kind of understood what was going on and what their rights were. I thought that was really, really important. And I know you just recently held a training for service providers a couple of weeks ago. So that's awesome. So the title of the video is called Leaders in Community Impact. So do you think that's where you are making the most impact right now in the community, or where do you think, I guess, you guys are making the most impact on the DeKalb community right now?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I like to think of the work that we do as giving people the tools or assistance that they need to get back up on their feet. So, right now we are seeing a lot of evictions because of the end of the moratorium. And so that is making up a lot of what we're seeing coming through our door, because that's the problem that people are often having. But COVID-19 and the pandemic has affected a lot of areas of people's lives. And some of these problems, they kind of work like, I always think of it as they work like a domino effect. You have one thing go wrong, and then it's really hard to keep a lot of other things together as well. And so legal services, we have a way that we can sort of step in, solve one problem, and then that might allow the person to kind of build everything else back up. And so in terms of our impact in DeKalb, I think another thing I'd like to talk about is one of the things that we're really proud about is our partnerships with other agencies. And that we can serve clients not only in their legal problem, but by connecting them to other agencies that might be able to help them with other issues that can help keep them stable and help them address their other needs. And vice versa. We hope that if somebody is seeking help by walking into the doors of another agency, that they can get connected to us. So together, the hope is that we can help people get back up on their feet, especially now in these times, and after these couple of years that we've had, to get back up on their feet, be safe, and keep the community thriving together.
For sure. Partnerships is another thing that we obviously value here too at the United Way. So I'm glad that you feel like you have that connection to other organizations here in DeKalb County. So our partnership with Prairie State, can you elaborate more on how your partnership with the United Way kind of helps you carry out your mission and your goals, and the types of things you are able to accomplish with support from the United Way?
Yeah, so Annie mentioned the partnerships with other organizations, and I think that's a huge part of our partnership with the United Way is the partnerships with the other partner agencies. So we see that clients don't experience legal problems in isolation. Someone very rarely comes to us with a single legal problem. They might be going through a divorce and also facing eviction because their household income has gone down. Maybe they've been denied food stamps and they're trying to get food stamps. So we see people come to us with, kind of a whole package of legal issues. But they're also coming to us with a whole package of non-legal issues. And those non-legal issues and legal issues are really intertwined. And often we can't fix the legal problem unless somebody is also there to help fix the non-legal problem. So, maybe a person needs to be able to access rental assistance in order for us to resolve an eviction case. Maybe someone has a chronic medical condition that's keeping them from being able to work and do other things, and they need to access healthcare. So it's really important for our ability to help our clients that we have relationships with other agencies in DeKalb County so that we can kind of, help our clients access this whole array of services. So that's hugely important to us as a United Way partner agency. And in terms of how, what we're able to accomplish because of the United Way and the funding that we're very grateful to receive from the United Way. So just to kind of give a little bit of context. So far this year, we've helped 348 DeKalb County residents with legal problems. And about 35% of the cases that we helped with involved a family law issue, and the vast majority of those involved domestic violence in the family situation. And about a little over 40% of the cases that we handled involved a housing issue, mostly rental housing issues. And we've mentioned evictions and the eviction moratorium a couple of times. So for, most of the last year and a half, there's been an eviction moratorium in place that just ended at the beginning of October. So we're really starting to see those numbers climb now. And we know that those housing cases that we're helping with, we know those numbers are going to continue to go up. And so it's, critical for us to have this funding and this local support from the community to be able to help with these issues.
Sure. Well, that kind of answered my next question, was just what types of support can the community provide? Or are there any goals that you guys are working on that the United Way or the wider community can kind of help you accomplish?
Yeah, so one goal or thing that we're really looking forward to is having more in-person contact with people and just having more of a physical presence. Right. So obviously we've made a lot of adjustments to our services in the last year and a half, though we're really proud that we've, for the most part, continued to serve clients in the same numbers. It's just looked a little different, right. But we've done, a lot more by phone and video and email. And that's been really great for a lot of our clients, but we know it's not a perfect fit for everybody. So we're really looking forward to kind of getting physically back out there into the community and being able to see clients that way, of course, doing so safely. But yeah, handling this eviction crisis, I would say, is, the other thing that is really on our radar right now. Again, the moratorium ended very recently, so we're just kind of starting to see the effects of that. We know that other service providers in the area are seeing clients who are facing housing instability. And we encourage, other partner agencies, people in the community to connect those people to us. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we find is that tenants who are facing eviction often don't call us until like the day before their court date, because right. They might not recognize it as a legal problem earlier in the process. They might see it as a financial problem or, some other sort of problem. So we do, really encourage the community to let people know about our services, particularly right now in the eviction area, and to connect folks to us. And the Eviction Help Illinois website that Ann mentioned earlier is a great way to do that, or through our website, pslegal.org.
Awesome. And I think just to mention one more thing as to that question, I think that at this point, there are people who are facing legal problems, that civil legal issues that didn't necessarily need our services before. And that's especially true now. So I think, one of our goals in DeKalb and all of our counties is making sure that people know who we are and know how to access us, so that people who are facing these kind of issues for the first time in their lives maybe can get to us.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Well, I think that's all that I had, all of the questions that I had. I really enjoyed talking to you guys today. I feel like there was a lot of information shared that I myself was educated on, so I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you wanted to share before we go for today?
No, we just want to thank you, Sheridan, for all that you do. And again, we're so grateful for our partnership with United Way and all of the other partner agencies. It takes a village
It does.
for everyone to come together and, work together to provide these services.
I would agree with you, Marissa. Thank you so much. You ladies have a good rest of the day, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.